Yo, what's going on YouTube? It is Shabs, and welcome back to another video on the channel and another formation review. You know, I don't usually do formation reviews. You can see on my channel, I've only done on 2 formations so far, which is not a lot considering how many formations are in the game. But generally, I don't like to play with my viewers' hearts. I don't like to send out BS content. Whenever I do a formation review, it's when I genuinely think it's going to help your gameplay, it's an elite formation, and it's going to be worthy for you to try out for FUT Champions. Because, personally, I was struggling immensely. I was bouncing around between the 4-1-2 Tornado, the 4-3-1-2, and the 4-3-3s. I was using a bunch of variations, including the false 9, which I've been raving about a lot. You can see my false 9 review obviously on the channel. And that's a formation that I absolutely love, but has sort of creeped out of the top 100 Elite 1 status over the last couple of weeks because of the patches or the gameplay changes or how people are playing. Or maybe they become more wise towards playing the wings more better. I don't know what it is personally, but something has changed. But quick disclaimer before we get into the video, guys. RIP Shabs is here. It looks like shit. We're gonna get that sorted out very soon, man. I apologize for that. But let's get into the video, guys. So honestly, whenever I do a formation review, you guys always know I have to play a minimum of 100 games with the formation, guys. This time around, I didn't check my record with it, but I have played 100 games officially, like maybe 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. I just came off of division win when I won 5-0 and I won the title. So yeah, our coin totals looking pretty good. Man, those St. Patrick's Day SCCs were lit, bro. We got decent coins in them, to be honest. But getting to the formation, guys, I'm talking about the 4-2-3-1 narrow, aka the 4-2-3-1 first variation. So this is the formation you're gonna see a lot of pro players, Gfinity players, and top 100 players use, especially since the recent patch, and especially since I believe it was Vitality Rocky that got 159 wins out of 160, and that one loss with disconnect. First of all, that one loss was a disconnect. Can we just take a moment of silence? Like, the man lost no games out of 160 FUT Champions games. Hats off to the man. Hats off. And this is the formation he was using. This was the formation he was using, so everyone's starting to use it and one realizing, damn, this formation is blessed. It's amazing. And I'm going to explain to you guys everything you need to know. Custom tactics, player instructions, and this is just personal opinion, what works for me. I'm not the best player in the world. I'm not a top 100 player. I'm not a pro player. I'm generally an elite 1 or 2 player who has ups and downs on FIFA and trying to actually myself attain top 100 status, which I think will come over time. But we're going to get to that in another video. But just for this video, boys, I'm going to give you all the details that you need to know. First of all, though, we got to show you my squad. And this is the squad I'm rocking with. You got Intimidator Modric, you got Nzonzi, who's he's a turtle on the pitch, but he has great interceptions, great long legs, great strength, great height, which we'll get into a little bit. Obviously, Pogba, you got Griezmann, Suarez, and then Toran, who's just there as a placeholder, who I switch off for Eden Hazard in the first minute. So let's just put him on there just to show you guys what the team looks like in game. Switch on Nzonzi with Modric, Griezmann with Suarez, and this is what it looks like in game, boys. So the 4-2-3-1 wide. What is so good about this formation? Well, first of all, you have 2 CDMs, so it's very reliable defensively. Second of all, you have 3 cams, so you get very creative in your attack. You always have a passing option if you play your cards right. Number 3, it's balanced. It is extremely balanced. You can play blessed possession style, you can play cut defensive style and just counter attack once per game. When you're using this formation, guys, you're going to be in the game, in every game that you play. Every game that you play, you have a chance of winning. No matter who your competition is, you most of the time have a chance of winning the game. I'll get to the reasons on why. But for this formation, guys, let's just begin with the defending and the goaltending. Let's start with the kind of players you want and why I chose my players, okay? So, goaltending and defenders, as always, boys, as always, pick a defensive backline and a goalkeeper that you trust. Hands down, the most important part of your team has to be your defending and your midfield. Those are the most important players in the game. Defense wins championship. I know it's just cliche, but it's most often the case in FUT Champions as well. Those tight games, man, you need that elite defender. And for me, Sergio Ramos, Jordi Alba, brain fart. Sergio Ramos, you got Red Walker and David De Gea, probably the best defensive backline I've used. And shout out to my boy, Savage Joey, man. Amazing dude, great top 100 player, who told me to switch Alaba and Boateng for Sergio Ramos and Jordi Alba, and that has been working amazingly for me. Jordi Alba is such a menace, bro. This guy is strong. He's small, but he's such a menace. He's so strong. He's like a bulldog. He's like, get off me. He's got the pace as well. He's also good offensively. I scored a couple goals with him in tight games before. So, yeah, shout out to my man, Savage Joey. who also recommended this formation actually. But yeah, that's what you want to use for your defensive backline and your goaltending guys. Pretty much as with any formation. With any formation, something that you're comfortable with, that's elite, that's overpowered. Doesn't get better than Maldini and Ramos in my opinion. Alba, Walker, Red Walker, does not get better than that. David De Gea, best goalkeeper in the game in my opinion. Have not tried Team of the Year Neuer, but from what I know, best goalkeeper in my opinion. Now, onto your CDMs. What kind of CDMs do you want? So, in my honest opinion, for the CDMs that you want, I have two big boys, two great big guys. You know, Nzonzi for me, 6'3". Pogba, I think, is also 6'3". So yeah, I got some big animals on the pitch with long legs. And you're going to see they both have shadow chemistry style on them as well. I might have to change Modric's chemistry style. I don't know why I still have Anchor there. But yeah, for your CDMs, guys, generally what you want to use. Work rates here don't really matter because Nzonzi for me is a medium. And Pogba for me is a high medium. And they always track back really well, so it's not a problem for me. Generally, though, for your CDMs, you want someone that's big, has great defending, great stamina. That's it. Getting great tackling stats. Pace is not really a big deal. I've tried Conte in this setup, and he seems to be poor. You need someone that big to be able to win the balls off the goal corner kicks. Your aerial battles are the most in this formation. I don't know why. Your CDMs are very relevant when it comes to aerial battles in this formation, so you want to use CDMs that are very physical and big boys. The Twin Towers is what you want pretty much. Nzonzi, Pogba, not bad at all. I will say one thing about Nzonzi though that I want to upgrade out of him for sure. I'm trying to get Effenberg. I almost have enough coins. I'm at 350,000 coins. I'm 150,000 coins away from getting Effenberg. Because Nzonzi is a turtle on the pitch, man. Second half comes around, he's dead. He's dead tired. He's not dead tired. It's just his pace mixed with losing stamina because of playing a half turns into crap. So definitely don't recommend Nzonzi, man. If you're gonna get a CDM, I don't know who to recommend besides him because he's actually really good. A lot of games he's really good. Shabs, the mind idols, they don't go away. But yeah, general rule of thumb, big CDMs, one that can join the attack. You know, high work rates are better for you here. You can play this two ways. Okay, the first way is to have an attacking-minded CDM that's big, that can contribute offensively, and then a natural CDM that's going to hold down the midfield. Nzonzi, Pogba, great example. A cheap example would be like Gary Medel from Inter Milan, and then Nainggolan from the Serie A. Perfect situation there. Second way to go with it that I've tried, it actually works just as good. In fact, sometimes better for me, is to have two box-to-box high midfielders at CDM. So you're looking at Nainggolan Marquisio combo, Nainggolan Vidal combo, that kind of thing. You know, you gotta have that kind of thing going on. That worked amazing for me too. So you have two ways of going with this. I'm using a Pogba. I'm using an offensive gifted guy and a natural CDM here for FUT Champions so far, and it's been working great for me. That's just a general rule of thumb. And then your three cams. Honestly, the central cam, you want to have some guy that he's gonna be the guy that links up all the play. So generally, someone that can hold up the play. You know, Modric is not that strong, but he holds up the play so well. A great passer, great long shots you need. The biggest thing is passing. You need a great passer here. Great long shots as well would be awesome. And then, honestly, finishing and positioning. Because your central cam and your striker is going to be your most... the people that are in the box for you the most to finish the chances. So you want to have people that are clinical as hell. Team of the Year Modric, one of the best cards I've used in this game. Let's show you his stats. Since I bought him, 42 games, 25 goals, and 23 assists for a cam. That's pretty ridiculous, man. Before I used Modric in this situation, I was using Roberto Firmino. And I was actually using Luis Suarez in the central cam before I got Modric. Before my man Savage was like, yo, get to me there, Modric, bro. And I was like, okay. And he's doing working wonder. But look at the Suarez's stats. Since I moved him to cam in the last 200 games, he's still producing. He's still producing like an animal. But look at those assists. They skyrocketed 171. Damn, bro. That's a crazy card, man. Crazy card. Excuse me. Your out and out cams, your wide cams, they're playing like wingers in this formation. In this formation, your out and out, your outside cams play like wingers. So you want pace. What I found to be the most important stats here are pace, physical, finishing. That's it. Pace, physical, finishing. Everything else is a bonus. Literally, that's all you need. Perfect guys for this situation are Neymar, Hazard, Suarez is amazing in the outside cam position. Trust me on that, he's amazing there. You might be like, yo, please play Griezmann at cam, but I'll get into that in a second. Yeah, those kind of players are perfect for this situation. Sadio Mane. Who am I missing here? Ronaldo would be pretty good here, but I'd rather play him as striker. Again, another discussion for another day. Del Piero, I've seen pros players use. I actually played some guy that used Del Piero there, and he was a menace. George Best would be good there as well. And then your striker, a couple stats that matter here, okay? Pace, positioning, finishing. That's it. Griezmann, 10 out of 10, perfect in this situation. Since I bought him, he's got 31 goals and 9 assists in 39 games. Pretty good for a lone striker. that usually is left alone up top. But yeah, in general, guys, that's the kind of players you want in this formation. Now let's get into the bread and butter of the player instructions, boys. And this is what I use. So my fullbacks, as always, in a four the back formation is stay back while attacking on the wing backs. Besides the false nine, I always use stay back while attacking on the wing backs, as always. Your CDMs in the formation, both of them just stay back while attacking. No man mark, no cut passing lane, just stay back while attacking. You can use whatever else you want if it works better for you, but for me, stay back while attacking, just let them do whatever they want to do. Whatever they have to do works better for me, in my opinion, so I'm just going to keep it like that. Your three cams, you just want them to stay forward. No free form, just stay forward, let them do whatever they got to do. Don't play around too much with the custom tactics because it might ruin their gameplay, your gameplay. Just let them stay forward, save a deadly counterattack, so your striker is not always isolated by himself, which is perfect for you. Striker, getting behind press backline, kind of the bread and butter of any striker in any formation, to be honest. Getting behind press backline, what else do you want there? Those are the player instructions. Custom tactics. So what I use is what I use for any formation. This is just my custom tactics, boys. My custom tactics. I suggest you go watch a video. I watched Dirty Mike's video. Shout out to my man Dirty Mike. I use Dirty Mike's video. Shout out to my man Dirty Mike. And he pretty much explained the custom tactics for you in every single position and icon. And I just listened. Okay, I thought about how I play the game, and I just adjusted the numbers and sliders for myself. The most important thing, though, is for this formation is you can either be aggressive, you can do anything you want defensively. It's better if you be aggressive because you have two CDMs that'll help you on the counterattack when your opposition is trying to counter you. So really, you can go any way you'd like, but I just generally like to hold the pressure and just cut passing lanes. That's me, boys. That's ShabzGamingHD, not Bob, Dylan, or Joe that's watching the video. You feel me? But yeah, that's pretty much this formation, boys. Now that we've finished everything that I wanted to talk to you guys about the tactical side of the formation, let's get into some highlights and let's talk about the gameplay with the formation and how the build-up play works. And I want to show you guys actual gameplay with the build-up for you guys to see, is this formation for me? Is this how I play? Is this how it's going to work for me? Because for this formation, I'm going to be honest, you have to be very clinical with your chances or else you're going to struggle immensely. For me personally, I struggled when I first used this formation about a month ago. Or not a month ago, like 2 weeks ago, before I used it a week ago. 100 games in 1 week. I know, I play a lot of FIFA, man. I play a lot of FIFA. But yeah, in general, man, you got to be extremely clinical, otherwise you're going to get burned. I found myself always giving it to the cam and then through balling it to the striker. But once you start realizing how to hold up the play, possession style, and use your outside cams, the game is beautifully worked with this formation, guys. But let's get into the highlights, like I said, and let's talk about the formation some more. See you there. Okay, but so diving into the nitty-gritty, you're going to see in this highlights that the majority of my goals happen as soon as I win the ball back. So attack base. But look at this play. Ping pong passing, always a passing option. Always, when you have the ball, hold it up a little bit. Unless you're being pressed aggressively, hold up the ball a little bit. See what your passing options are. Look at your little radar. But look at this. Pass. And then you get opening. Pass it again, skill over there. Peel the heel chop. And he's in China and we score. Beautiful goal there. I just wanted to touch on a few other things with this formation. So obviously with any formation, the questions always come up. Yo, Shabs, where should I spend my coins the most? And for the 4-2-3-1, similar to the false line, it's a very balanced formation. So you want to spend your coins evenly throughout, If you have 100k, try to spend I would say 10k per position if you can, and then have maybe 1 or 2 impact players that go for that amount. Find the overpowered players if you're going for a cheap budget team. But if you have the bulk of the coins like most people do right now in this day and age, try to build around a couple of stars, but really spend coins on your defense, spend coins on your midfield, and spend coins on your striker. But with this FIFA, you can get anybody to really score with different angles. This is a heavily angle-based game, FIFA is. So anyone can score from any angle if you really think so. What a brilliant tackle, by the way, there. We get the ball with Griezmann here, passing to Modric. How did he miss that? But Harry Kane, our super sub impact boy, scores in the back of net. But look at this. We steal the ball. 1 pass, 2 pass, and we're off. 3rd pass, and we're through on goal. Modric is going to miss, and look at this. It's goal. Oh, baby, that's FUT Champions for you. But one last note, guys, your CDM seem to pop up a lot and get involved in the play. And you know what? Don't be afraid to use your CDM because you always have one tracking back when one attacks. As you can see with Pablo there, scoring on him and dabbing on him as usual. But guys, leave a like on the video. Subscribe down below if you're new around here, guys. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And, tune in on my live streams. If you want to see the 4-2-3-1 live, I'm going to play FUT Champions competitively. So if you want to see it live, head into my live streams, obviously on the weekends for FUT Champions. I'll love you all later, man. See you guys later. Have a good day. Peace.